Hey y'all, and welcome back to Bright Shadows. In this video, we're going to discuss the topic fear. What is fear? Fear is an underlying emotion that causes anxiety, pain, destruction, or the thought of something being dangerous. Now, there's something that we have all experienced that has caused any of those emotions to take over at that given moment. I've noticed that I've come across a lot of people who live in the fear of either moving forward, changing lifestyles, letting go of old patterns. It's like we fear what could be on the other side if we truly let go and started to really do things for the best, because we really don't know. Now, I don't know if it's the fear of the unknown or the fear of being rejected, fear of being hurt, fear of something negative happening. Now we gotta sit and think, what is the opposite of fear? Courage. The definition of courage is to do something that is fearful, to do something that scares us, to do something that causes us to be anxious or nervous or not sure. Again, there's something in our lives that we have gained the courage to be able to overcome. Did we gain or did we lose? I'm sure with everybody's given situations that maybe it was both or one or the other. But we have to really take a step back and think about what holds us back at the end of the day. Everybody goes through their own battles and their challenges in life. And, sometimes we wonder, what if I did something a little bit differently? What if I did take that leap? What if I did change that pattern that I'm so used to? What if I switched up the environment that I'm so comfortable in? I feel like fear and courage both go hand in hand with the whole thought of just switching up your comfort zone. There was a saying that I grew up in. I don't know who told me, but somebody once told me that when you get to a certain age, you kind of get stuck in your ways, and there is no trying to persuade that person to change or be something different or to be a better person or just to do something that might change up the way they live and or how their character is portrayed. And I used to believe that, I've come across many people who I'm just like, yeah, that person's pretty set in their ways. I don't see that person changing their perspective on that. And depending on how passionate a person is about how they feel towards a certain matter in their life, there is no budging or trying to convince anybody of something different. We all have something in our lives that we're just like, nope, 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 you can't change my mind. But what if it doesn't take for somebody else to change your mind? What if it takes something as simple as listening to this video that really makes you think about something that you might just want to do differently? I used to be so scared to be myself around other people. There was only maybe one or two people or that I saw or knew on a regular basis that actually knew who I was, and I wasn't afraid to be myself. I can be quirky and an asshole, and I love hard, and I'm very sensitive and emotional, especially around people that I care about. So not everybody will take that lightly. Some people who've been hurt and stomped on or just disrespected for so many years of their life, they grow cold-hearted and don't really know how to show emotion, or they're afraid to show emotion. That's even another example. You have people who grow up that are taught that it's not okay, or it makes them less of a man, or makes them less of a human being, or an adult if they show emotion or cry. Or I don't think I would feel normal or a human if I didn't show emotion. So my heart goes out to people who have grown up like that. I pray that one day they come across somebody who helps them feel again and helps them be secure in knowing that it's okay to feel all the feelings that one is supposed to experience. I just know that it took a level of many growing processes in my life and wake up calls and negative experiences for me to go through to be like, who am I really trying to make happy here? Who am I really trying to prove a point to? You know, am I trying to be somebody I'm not to make somebody else comfortable? You know, like I grew up in a very toxic, unhealthy family patterns all over the place. Like I've lived, there's so much that I think what meant the most to me growing up as a child and a teenager and a young adult was to just prove myself to people, like that I was worth something. I was so scared of being anything other than what people wanted me to be. What happens when we live in fear is we lose ourselves. We lose our purpose and who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do. Like, life is about taking chances and taking risk, and what's meant for us, it'll be and it'll come. We can't force it. We can't make it. You know, it takes a lot of experience to go through the negative and the positive to know what's right for us and what isn't right for us. But we will finally get to that point to where fear will come across. And the decision that we need to make for ourselves is, are we going to go for it? Or are we just going to allow fear to take over? We'll never know what could be on the other side of it if we just don't take that chance, take that risk. You can't say that you don't know if you don't even try. I always like to believe that faith over fear. What do we have to worry about? What do we have to lose? I feel like that if we conquer our fears, which, you know, I'm still growing and I'm still learning, and it's still a challenge for me because there's still a few things in my life that I wouldn't say necessarily fear, but, you know, kind of frighten me just a little bit. Might have me like, you know, and anxious and, you know, think twice about doing certain things. Like, for instance, bungee jumping or swimming in an ocean or, you know, trying a new food. Like, those are all things that I think we just kind of like, have to think about for a minute. Now, it could be less dramatic or not so drastic with other people, but those were just mine for an example. You know, I feel like that without courage, how can we even go on with our day-to-day, you know, lifestyles? Like, how can you wake up in the morning and not ask for courage or live in courage? Because that is a characteristic I feel like we all should carry. We should take on each day with courage to know that whatever comes our way, we will be strong and wise enough and bold enough to take it head on, whatever may lay on the other side. So, to end this video, I would like to say that fear is only an illusion. Fear is something that is taught, and it's not something that we have to hold within our own mentality, our personality, or our emotions. you know, and it's only normal and human if you do fear something in your life. Just don't sit in it for too long, because if you do, then it's like a pestering glitch in the back of your mind that's just embeds there, and you hold on to it forever. I know that whenever I was 3 years old, my brother like scared the crap out of me with telling me that little baby sharks were up on the shore. I have spent my whole life scared to go in the ocean because of that reason. Now, I took my boys on vacation for the very first time a couple years ago, and I put my feet in the ocean, and I wasn't scared of sharks. I was scared of the jellyfish. But then I looked over to the side of me and I saw these little kids who had not a care in the world and was just swimming, even picking up the dead jellyfish that was coming up on the shore. So my point is find your inner child. That person that you used to be so long ago who didn't have a care in the world and just did it just because the world was so big. Nothing's changed as you're an adult. The world is still big and there's so much more out there for each of us to experience. So much more for us to learn. So much more for us to figure out and just find out what's on the other side. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope everybody has a blessed day, a blessed evening whenever you tune in. Don't forget to subscribe for further videos. Until the next episode, I love you all and y'all have a blessed one. Thanks.